So today in the do-cast, I wanted to give Noah a little time to shine because he got in some really good puns in the last episode, but I feel like his contribution wasn't quite up to snuff to what we all know his potential can really create. So I wanted to give him a time to shine, and I kind of wanted to talk about the new sensation that's sweeping the nation, Destiny 2, and I just kind of
That's
wanted to get some thoughts on it. So, Noah, if you'd like to
that's a
take the floor
sensation.
and give your yeah, it's the sensation that's sweeping the nation, sort of.
You're the sensation that's sweeping the nation, motherfucker.
I know it. That's that's why we get 22 views on the
Guys,
first podcast.
guys, listen,
Ooh.
smash that like button. If this video doesn't get to 322,000 likes by 12 o'clock tonight, then I will personally claim responsibility for the Mandalay Bay shooting.
What?
Okay,
Topical.
Colin.
Topical.
Speaking of Mandalay Bay shootings, Noah, you're up.
Whoa,
Noah,
man.
take the floor before Colin keeps talking about shootings.
So in Destiny, the goal in the game is to shoot up Las Vegas. No.
Whoa.
Um,
Dude, I'm gonna cut myself on that edge.
it's obviously the sequel to Destiny 1.
No, it's not. You're lying.
Okay. Yes.
All right, let's all give Noah a hand. Nah, just fucking with you.
Um, So I haven't really heard many poor reviews about Destiny 2. I'm sure there are plenty, but it's in my experience, it's a very good game, much more polished than Destiny 1. Uh, I'm not sure if there's really more to do in the game since it's just recently been released. I'm not sure if there's more to do in the game, the base game, as there was in Destiny 1 at release. But it's there's it's different. I know many people describe Destiny 1 as having a sort of Borderlands feel to it, but I never really felt that way, and I had never really heard of it until I never really heard of those reviews, I guess, until after Destiny 2 had actually come out. But Destiny 2, I did get that feeling from it, and it's different from Destiny 1. Just I don't know. It's much more polished. I'll just leave it at that.
If I can interject, like I thought, like I don't know, I played the Destiny beta. I don't own the game. I don't own this game either. And like I definitely, I think I definitely kind of got the Borderlands sort of feel in the terms of
Yeah.
basic mechanics. You know what I mean? In just the terms of how both games are played, I think stylistically they're very different, but in terms of like core mechanical gameplay, I think that's where that's where the rubber meets the road more or less. So I mean, I kind of thought that they were similar. I heard a lot of shit about Destiny 1 upon release that it was just like a clusterfuck.
Yeah, they didn't have moth people.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily know much about like the release of Destiny 2 in terms of how much of a clusterfuck it may or may not have been. I have no idea. So
It didn't really seem that bad at all on launch. I didn't actually get Destiny 1 right when it launched because I didn't have an Xbox then. So I got it a couple months after it launched, so I never really ran into any of the launch problems. But it is technically an MMO, so with the launch of any MMO, it took me like 2 hours to log in the first time because everyone trying to log in at the same time.
yeah.
So there was that, but that happens with every MMO really. Um, but back to the Borderlands thing, there's a lot more exploration in Borderlands than there was in Destiny 1. So I never really got that feeling in Destiny 1. But in Destiny 2, there's a lot more exploration, kind of like Borderlands. And you actually get rewarded for exploring the areas you go to instead of just going there for the mission you're doing and then leaving, and you don't really have any incentive to explore or anything like that.
To me, it kind of reminded me of, like, in terms of how Destiny 1 ran its missions, was kind of like it had the Borderlands game mechanic, but the missions ran like Spartan Assault, if that makes any sense, from the Halo games.
I wouldn't know really because I don't think I've ever played those.
It's like these very kind of like, I can't remember if it was in Halo Reach or Halo 4. I'm pretty sure it was in Halo 4. But it was like Spartan Assault was like, it was like these set of missions that you
Oh
can
yeah,
do,
yeah.
where it's they're very very linear in nature, and you just kind of like you can do them and like get like the high score, and if you do certain challenges, you get certain amount of points or whatever. You
And
know,
they're like interjected with like story mission
yeah, just like really
cutscenes. Yeah.
some very very ham-fisted story cutscenes.
I know you just did this thing that's completely unrelated, but here's the thing about an elite that has a white hand on his face.
Yeah, more or less. It kind of reminded me of like the Titanfall campaign where the story was only barely there. It was like Titanfall was just like a really big Spartan Assault. But
That's actually a really good way of putting it.
but I mean, yeah, I don't want to get off on a tangent too much. But yeah. It's pretty much what I had to say. It was very kind of like linear in contrast, but would you say the missions in Destiny 2 are a lot more free roam-y, or it's more like an MMO in the context of you get a mission, but you're not in this linear sort of context? Like there's a land to explore, and you can do the mission whenever you want.
Yeah, like in Destiny 1, there was sort of a free roam mode, and you could go around and do these little patrol missions, and they were sort of repeatable missions that have like a random pool of missions that you could get from these little nodes that you go to, and you get a random mission, and it'll send you to do whatever on whichever planet that you're on. But and that was really it for free roam, and you could get golden chests that spawn once, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's all there really was to exploration. There was patrol missions, and they're very, very short missions that have one objective. You complete them, and you don't really get many rewards from them.
Yeah.
But in Destiny 2, each planet has sort of fully fleshed out side quests called adventures, and you really get to sort of explore more of the planet. And so there's the main. I'll just take a step back for a minute.
Yeah.
There's the sort of the main campaign, and as you unlock each planet and you unlock free roam on each planet,
Yeah.
once you get to the free roam sort of mission, you can do adventures, and adventures are sort of side quests to the main campaign.
Oh.
So in addition to the side quests, when you complete patrol missions, you can bring you get rewards from them that you bring back to a person, a NPC on each planet, and they give you more rewards as well. Plus, public events give you more rewards than they did ever before. The game is a lot more fleshed out. There's a lot more things to do to get rewards and level up faster and such. There's just a lot more to do. It's not you grind and grind and grind and grind one thing over and over until you can get to the raid, and then that's it. You're done with the game. You can do all kinds of things. You can do whatever favorite thing you have to do in the game until you get leveled up, and then you can go on to do the raid or play PvP, whatever.
Yeah. So in terms of so you'd say in terms of like just generally things to do, it's a very fleshed out, very
It's a lot more diverse.
Yeah. What would you say in terms of like I assume that all the characters in the Destiny 2 like campaign are all carryovers from the first one or most of them.
There's a couple new characters, and there's some characters that have, I'll just say, gone missing or disappeared.
Yeah.
But there are most of the main characters have carried over from Destiny 1.
Yeah. What would you say about like in terms of like gameplay mechanics, and when I say that I mean like if you were to compare some of the things that in the first Destiny that you would consider maybe broken or just generally like negative, would you say that in Destiny 2 they polished those things out and made them better, or got rid of stuff that was bad, or just like improved on things that would have made the game better in the first one? Like what are your thoughts on the general improvements, differences, polishes?
Um, so one thing is there's matchmaking, a sort of matchmaking for the Nightfall Strike, the weekly Nightfall Strike, and the raid.
Yeah.
So in Destiny 1, to do the raid or the Nightfall Strike, you would have to either have enough friends who play the game that you can go, hey, you want to do the Nightfall or you want to do the raid? And then you can get a group together out of your friends, or you can go on a looking for group website or an app or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to do it that way because there's no matchmaking. For Destiny 2, though, there's a thing called guided games. So clans actually have a use now, and two people playing in a party in a clan can start up a game with a raid or a nightfall, and a single player looking to join a group can join one of those, and you don't have to go on to some third party looking for group thing anymore for those.
Yeah.
Another thing that is still broken is Warlock exotics. There's not really many that, and for anyone who doesn't know, an exotic item is a weapon or armor piece that is completely unique, and you can only have one exotic weapon equipped and one exotic piece of armor equipped at a time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I would move him. Hold on.
Hmm?
Okay, alright. Sorry about that,
Yeah.
dead air for a minute. So, the Crucible is still broken from Destiny 1. Crucible has been very cancerous, the PvP in Destiny. Whether it's people just using only shotguns or using guns that are very cheesy and like do a lot of staggering to other players or whatever. Bungie seems to have a hard time balancing the PvP.
Ironic considering their past
Yeah.
releases.
Yeah. Straight up.